So filming these videos has been primarily Nate's deal. I mean, he owns that. He really owns it. But some of it spills over to me. And so, in the very beginning, now almost 4 years ago, I did a little bit of filming with a phone camera. And then, we kind of got past that and we picked up a Canon Vixia camcorder. And quite a bit of our early content was filmed with that, and it works good outside, not so good inside, and it's very intuitive. Then the screen is teeny, but it works pretty good, or at least good enough, and it was simple. It was simple enough that I, the carpenter, blacksmith, logger guy, could do it. And so that was my comfort zone.
Like that. That leaves them a couple of inches. That's not a real official piece of equipment, but it works. I think it's a piece of roofing.
Flashing.
We
tried adding a GoPro, and the screen was so kind of obscure and hard to see on that, and I just never really figured out GoPro language, and so Nate uses that, and I never did. And then once we kind of got up to the end of the first part of the spec house process, and I stepped back into the blacksmith shop over the winter, I had enough bandwidth then that I could sort of square up to the challenge of, okay, Nate's going to help me learn how to use our B-roll camera. We've been using it for years. It's a Canon 70D. You've seen a lot of footage made with this camera when Nate's been using it, and now you've seen some of it that I've captured because he taught me enough, and I was in a place where I could hear it, that even something as complex as this black nightmare turns out to be usable for somebody like me. I was intimidated by this because of all of the possibilities for shipwreck that are implied by all those buttons or controls. But then there came a point where I had to start kind of taking my own medicine, right, and being willing to learn something new, even if it wasn't comfortable. So Nate showed me that there's a couple of settings on here that once you're in those, it's almost point and shoot. Now, it's not quite point and shoot, but close enough that I could begin to get into it. And we started getting some pretty good results out of the blacksmith shop. In fact, the Bowie knife, Bowie knife, okay, I've been listening to the objections about my pronunciation. That knife video was filmed with this. Turned out okay. What this constitutes right here is one of the most amazing things that I can point to in my work life. And that is that now I find myself in my shop, my same old dusty, dirty, cluttered, slightly dangerous shop. And I'm carrying around a camera. And not only am I carrying it around, but it is as integral and as vitally important to my workflow now as any of the other tools in my shop. And so this speaks to a couple of things. But first is you can never tell what's in your future in either direction. But usually what's in your future is going to be better than you thought. And recognize that when you get there. And it'll be better than you thought if you're open to learning something new. So yeah, this is a crazy instrument, and I'm using probably maybe 5% of its capacity on my best day. But maybe by the time I'm dead, I'll be using 20% of its capacity on a good day. And I guess the place that maybe I've covered some more ground and learned a little more of a skill set, a little more completely than with the filming, is in my office where I do the voiceover recording and the program for the voiceover and moving the files around and sending them to Nate. And if you'd be interested in that, if that's something that would have if it would be worthwhile for you, let us know, because we could go into the office and I could show you that and the program that I'm using and how GarageBand works and the things that I've learned there, because I'm feeling a little bit at home with that. Which probably means that there's going to be something else coming in on the horizon that I won't feel at home at yet, that I'll get a chance to learn. And that's what makes life perhaps most worthwhile, right? Is learning new things. Thank you for watching Essential Craftsman. Keep up the good work.